Class 11, today I will introduce you to the subject BSTD, Business Studies, and I will be discussing the first chapter, that is Nature and Purpose of Business. Now before going into business studies, you should have a clear knowledge of what business is. So this chapter is going to make few concepts which are vague that will be clear to you now. Now, first we will start from economic and non-economic activity. What is the difference between the two? Now, every day from the start of the day, we do various kinds of activity. For example, we get up, we freshen up, we brush, and we eat. So all these are also known as activities. Any work that you do is an activity. You are studying, reading, playing, all are activities. Now, why do we engage in activities? Now, there are two purposes. Why do we engage in activities? When we are engaged with office work or when we are engaged with anything that gives us money in return, we call that economic activity. Now, everybody needs money to fulfill his or her other sets of want, because we can buy everything required to us with the help of money. So money is a crucial need, and to get that money we have to engage in any kind of activities. So when we are participating in any kind of activity that brings money or gives money in return, we call that economic activity. So we will get a monetary return in case of economic activity. Now other activities, like when you brush, you are doing it because you feel freshened up in the morning. When you eat, you are feeling satisfied because it meets your hunger. You read because it brings you a sense of satisfaction that you are already prepared before your exam. So all other work that is associated with giving you satisfaction, making you feeling satiated, but there is no monetary return, is known as non-economic activity. Like when any person is gardening, engaged in gardening, he is doing an activity, but it gives him only satisfaction, mental, psychological satisfaction, and no money in return. So that type of activities are classified under non-economic activity. So there is no monetary return, but only it gives you a sense of satisfaction. It fulfills your psychological need. Now, there are activities which can be both treated as economic and non-economic activity, but there are certain circumstances. For example, when a doctor treats his patients in his chamber, he earns a fee in return. So that time the doctor's treatment is acting as a economic activity, because he has the intention of earning money in return of treating a patient. But during weekend, suppose that doctor treats for free to the orphanage child. So what he is doing the same activity. He is treating patients, but where he is treating, he is giving his treatment to the orphanage children's free of cost. So here, is there any monetary return that he gets out of the same activity? No. He gets some sort of satisfaction by helping the children's. So the same activity is non-economic. So a doctor's treatment is the similar activity, but once we are looking it from the economic aspect, when he is treating his patients in the chamber, and once it is non-economic. And the same activity when he is giving treatment to the children of the orphanage, he enjoys and gets satisfaction, but there is no monetary return, so the same activity is non-economic. Another example I am giving you, suppose mother cooking for a child at home. So when your mother cooks at home for nurturing the child, she feels some sort of satisfaction when he cooks to serve her family. So that is a kind of satisfaction that she gets, no monetary return. So that is a non-economic activity. But suppose she is engaged in a home delivery business. She cooks and she sends to the people who orders her. So there she is doing the same activity, she is engaged in cooking, but here she gets monetary return. So that time it is an economic activity. So economic and non-economic difference is done. Now you understood that economic activity means all those activities that gives you money return. So that is the end result, whether you are satisfied or not, but it should give you money in return. Now that economic activity is divided into this 3 groups: business, profession and employment. Now in everyday life we generally use these 3 words almost in a similar sense, like you are engaged in a business, you are a professional, or I am engaged into employment. So business, profession, employment are almost treated alike. In general sense, these all are activities that gives you money in return. But over here in this chapter you will get to know that there are strict differences when you call business, when you call a person is engaged in a profession, and when that person is engaged in any kind of employment. So first we will start with a business. Now suppose X is a person who wants to start a business. What are the prerequisites that he needs? Number 1, first we will go to the qualification. Now when you are doing any kind of activity that gives you money in return, you need the basic minimum qualifications. So if a person wants to open up a business, what is the qualification he needs? The qualification needed cannot be defined, because he might be too much educated, he might have only passed class 10 or 12. But if he has a business mind, he can open up a business. He needs to fill up some legal formalities, registration for a business. But if you query any businessman, their qualification doesn't matter. So there is no hard and fast rule how much qualified he is. So to become a businessman, there is no defined or prescribed minimum qualification that is required. So there is no defined minimum qualification that is required to be a businessman. Now the second thing, what is actually the purpose of business? What is done in a business? Now a businessman can deliver some kind of goods, or he might be into any kind of business where he gives services. So when he is delivering any kind of goods or services, we call him businessman. Now before he delivers the good and he earns after sale of the product money or profit, first he has to make some capital investment. Now what do you mean by capital investment? This X, the person X, needs to have some money on which he can invest in actually the production of the commodity, and then afterwards when he sells the commodity, he gets money in return. For example, suppose he is engaged in a business where he produces pencils. So for producing pencils, he first needs to gather up land, labor, machineries, raw materials, and start production of machine first. So suppose for doing this, per pencil, that is for producing one pencil, he has to make an expenditure of 5 rupees in the beginning. Then after production, when he sells in the market, he sells at rupees 8. So what is the difference? The difference gives you the profit, that is rupees 3, which he earns after sale of the pencils in the market. So can you see that before a businessman earns his profit when he sells at rupees 8, before that he needs to produce the thing, and before production he needs to have that capital to even start up the production process. So a businessman needs to invest capital or needs to invest money prior to the start of business, and afterwards, after the production is complete, when he offers the commodities for sale in the market, he can charge a higher price than his cost, and the difference gives you the profit of the businessman. So profit or income of the businessman is coming afterwards, but prior to that he have to make an investment. He needs to have that much of capital backing or that much of money to start up the production, to gather. Now for producing pencil, he needs to have a factory where he hires a land. He needs to have labor who will be engaged in the production. He needs to acquire tools and machineries and raw materials for production. Now how can he do? If he doesn't have money, nobody will work for him. So he needs to have money, and I am here only writing the cost per pencil, that is for producing only one pencil. What is the total amount of money which the businessman have to spend on everything? So that is rupees 5. But after production in the market, when he offers the pencil, he gets rupees 8. So he charges 3 rupees more than his investment. So that 3 rupees is the profit or income of the businessman. So you can see, for a businessman, capital investment is there, and how much money is needed depends on whether he wants to go for a large scale business where the production is in huge amount, or small scale business. Definitely on the size of the business will depend how much capital he requires to first invest. And a businessman's income, that is profit, is known or earned after sale of the object. And does he earn fixed income or profit? No. There is always uncertainty. Uncertainty means you don't know what you will earn at the end. Whether you will be profiting or losing is unknown, because when he goes to the market for sale, the pencil is charged at rupees 8. People might not be ready to pay rupees 8 for the pencil, so he has to charge rupees 7. Lowering the price will attract the customers. Now what is the profit that is getting? He gets only 2 rupees profit per pencil, so his profit or income, it declines. So what profit or income he will earn, that is uncertain. Uncertain means it is not known before. And for a businessman, there is always risk associated with it. Risk means when he starts up his production, there can be 2 outcomes or result. After production, when he goes to the market, he can earn some positive money or profit, or it might so happen that when he delivers the product in the market, no customers purchase that item. So what is happening? He is not earning anything, but he has already invested money over there. So he loses out money from his own pocket. So there is risk associated with a businessman, because there can be 2 outcomes, profit and loss, and that is unknown when he starts the business. That only recovers when he ultimately sends the produced goods for sale in the market, understands the market situation, and then the true picture comes whether he will be profiting or losing. So I have already discussed these 4 points which are characteristics of business. That means when you will realize that a person is into business, when he doesn't require minimum qualification, when there is capital investment before he earns the income or money investment, risk is associated, because ultimately you don't know whether your produced items or the business will be successful or not, whether you will earn profit or not. And risk is there also means there is uncertainty related to outcome or income, whether the businessman will get profit or he will be losing out. So profit or loss, there is an uncertainty. Next, now always a businessman is engaged in production, it is not always true. That means I may not produce, but still how can I be a businessman? Suppose I am purchasing the goods at ₹5 from the market. So I am not engaging a factory, labors, machines to build up the thing, but I am buying it at a cheaper cost and selling at a higher cost. So I have already bought the pencil ready-made at ₹5. So I am buying it cheap and selling it at a higher price, means selling it at dear. Okay, so buying cheap and selling dear, that is also a business, and in the venture I earn a difference of ₹3, that is my profit. So a businessman, this is known as procurement and not production. It is known as procurement. Procurement means when you are buying at cheaper rates, storing the commodities and bringing for sale, and you are selling at a higher rate and earning money from there. So a businessman may be, fifth point is, may be either engaged in production of goods or he is engaged in procurement of goods. So he is either producing the thing on his own by bearing the cost, or he purchases cheap and sells dear. But whenever he is purchasing, so before he earns, he has to have money for purchasing the thing. So always there is capital investment prior to the start of business. Sixth point, he exchanges the good for value. Now what do you mean by value? Value means price. Now suppose I have made the pencil, I am a businessman, I have made the pencil and I am selling those pencils in the market for free as a gift. So am I earning any money in return? No. Can you call it an economic activity? No. Am I earning any kind of profit? I am investing money and then giving it out for free. So there is no income only. So a businessman, you call a businessman when he engages in production or procurement of goods and he exchanges that. Exchanges means transfers the ownership of the product. As long as the products are not sold in the market, it belongs to businessman. Owner of the entire property is businessman himself. But when he sells, he transfers the ownership to somebody else. So he exchanges the goods or transfers the ownership of the good, but in exchange of a proper price or value. That means he charges an amount. If he gives it for free, you cannot call them businessman. 7. It should be a regular activity. What do you mean by regular activity? Regular activity means, suppose I am engaged in production of pencil and then I am going to the market and I am selling those pencils a single day, and next day I have earned also a profit from the sale of pencil, but from next day I am not engaged in the same activity. So can I call myself a businessman? No, because a proper business means you are continuing the same thing for a long time. That means every time I am producing pencils and selling pencils at a higher price and earning some money. So suppose you are earning for a day and then you stop earning. So can you call that economic activity? Money is always needed. So one day you earn money and the rest of the days you are not earning money at all. So you cannot call it an economic activity, and therefore it is not a business, because business is one of the kind of economic activity. So a one day's business cannot be called a business. Suppose a vegetable seller, he is sitting in the roadside corner and he sells the entire vegetable. He makes a profit of rupees 1000, and from next day he is not sitting in that corner and he is not engaged in the sale of vegetables. So can you call him a businessman? No, because he only makes one time profit. So one time profit cannot be a purpose of a business, cannot be called a business. So a businessman's purpose is to regularly earn profit, not a single time profit. So all these are the characteristics of a business. There is no minimum qualification required. It is not defined. You may be very much qualified or you may lack qualification, but you can be a businessman. Capital investment or money prior to getting profit is required. Risk is associated, because risk means you might earn whatever you are targeting or you might not earn. So uncertainty is also there regarding whether you will profit or lose in the business. A businessman either produces or he procures. Procures means buys cheap and sells dear. That can also be done. Exchange goods for value. He sells the goods for a particular price and not for free. And he engages in the same activity regularly to earn regular profit. So cash flows into his business regularly, and that is the aim of a businessman, to regularly earn money for his living. So that is only the characteristics of business. And one or two more points you can add. It is an economic activity that all of you know, because it gives you money in return. And for opening up a business, some registration or legal formalities are required. That means there are certain steps or approval that you need for the government licensing for starting up a business.